That's right, it's happened. We are at Flamingo Land Resort for the first time in a couple of years, obviously to try out the brand new coaster for 2022, voted best new ride of 2022, SIK. Still not too keen on the name. However, it is a beautiful day here. The sun is out. In fact, it's honestly not even a cloud in the sky. For mid-October, it's absolutely staggering. And we're here to try it out. It looks fantastic. I have to say, up close, I've always been a bit skeptical on some of the videos and things. I don't think they've done them justice. Up close, this thing looks incredible. Genuinely incredible. And I can't wait to get on there and try it out. Now, we are allowed to film on ride today, so we will take you on. We can see that there are some misters. So I don't know how much you'll see in the second half of the ride, I'll be honest with you, but we're going to take you on, hopefully, for a front and back row ride on SIK today. Park is also home to some other quality coasters, including Mumbo Jumbo and Kumali. They are joined by the likes of Zoom, I think there's a Twistosaurus down there, and of course Hero. Now I won't be able to film on Hero, sadly, because I'm wearing a chest mount, and as anyone knows that's been on Hero, it's a bit awkward. It's a bit awkward. However, the other rides we will take you on that are open. Last time we come, the swings were shut, so I'm looking forward to getting a fresh view of Flamingo Land from up there. Have you been this year? Let us know in the comments below, but we're going to start with this bad boy and we're going to head over to SIK.
Hold the handlebars at all times. Here we go.
What do we think? What do we think? So that was a back road ride on SIK. Now, as you can see, there are misters here, and I am aware that the screen did get a bit misty. There's nothing I can do about that, unfortunately, while we're going around, but hopefully it's come out all right for you. That thing is actually really impressive, and I didn't think I would like the station again. I don't think the pictures have done the ride justice. The station works really well. Even the branding, I kind of understand the branding. When you're here and you see it a bit more, you really do understand the branding a bit more. And once you go in there, it's really nicely finished, like really nicely finished. I have to say, I'm really impressed. Even the graphics down the side of the building look fantastic. And you can get some fantastic views as well. Queue line's over the back there. You can get some fantastic views of the ride from there. We've come around here by the first aid section. You can get fantastic views here. Amazing. Now the ride itself, obviously everyone's comparing it to Colossus, and you know, even Thorpe Park have gone and saying, well, we've got one of these. It's a totally different beast. It really is a different experience. Now, In terms of the ride, there are only a couple of profile changes, noticeably on the drop. This bit isn't raised, and of course that's been a problem for Fort Park in the past where it's valleyed on it. But having the lap bars is a completely different experience. It really is odd. I'd say for the first 5 inversions, you don't notice it. You don't notice it at all. You wouldn't realise that the restraints were even there. It's so open and makes it such a different ride experience. You really notice it, oddly, when you come down the inlines. And of course, where you aren't wearing an over-shoulder restraint, tends to be your body moves a bit more as well. So as you're going through these, the car's going one way and your body's going another. It's a really, really odd experience, but at the same time, a completely new thrill experience. It's really smooth, little bit of a rattle, but you know, really, really smooth, especially you know, given what everyone thinks about Colossus and how these ride. This is a completely different ride experience, and I have to say that was fantastic. Genuinely fantastic. Yeah, thoroughly enjoyed it. Now, just so you know, there are actually a couple of changes over the summer which the park have made in returns to filming on ride, and we didn't know this until we kind of got in there. And that's that you are required now to go to the first aid guest services and get permission to film on ride, but then checking out your equipment. That's because so many people have come here for SIK and have ended up losing items and damaging people, hitting people with loose items, where everyone thinks they can just take you know, phones and things on it. We're quite lucky, we've got a proper harness today, but things like holding it like I am now wouldn't be allowed, and in things like wrist straps and head straps are no longer allowed where they were before. Now you have to have a secure mount on it. But I mean, even if you see this come down here, we'll get another shot of it as it comes through these inlines. Yeah, really, really nice touch. Genuinely a fantastic ride and a great one to have here in the UK. Flamingo Land, honestly, top credit to Flamingo Land. They pulled this off. They've really pulled this off. Now, from chatting to the guy in the first aid, he did say the ride cost about 3.5 million is what they got it from someone in Brazil. And the reason it took so long to open, he said, was there was so many parts missing. So when they quoted the 18 million, which he did say was probably a exaggeration, they've had to buy loads and loads of bits for this, which are missing from purchase of the ride, which is why it took so long to build, took so long to get together, and obviously with the pandemic, didn't help as well. So whilst there is a slight exaggeration there's probably more amidst the eyes than the ride is complete and everything, and I can understand that. It was shipped around quite a lot, never really built. So yeah, I kind of get that, but I have to say, Flamingo Land 100% onto a winner. So whilst here at Flamingo Land, it would be rude not to come and check out the zoo. The zoo is home to quite a lot of species, in fairness. And now we are inside the play area, which opened about 10 years ago. And it's really weird because you've got a lovely play area in the middle, and then around the outside you've got some animal enclosures, mongoose, warthogs, and then you come across the meerkats before coming in to here. And in here, as you can see, they've got some lovely tanks. Hello, sir. Taking out, it's hot in here as well, really hot. Now in here you've got a couple of dwarf caiman. You can see the glass tricks, if you will, which sea life use as well. So as you come down, you'll see that he's closer than you think. Muddy Duck Farm. This is where I used to spend all the time with the kids. I highly doubt we would anymore. I don't think they're coming up here for anything. But as you can see, we've got some cows over there, birds in here. Just over this side I can see donkeys, a reindeer, got his antlers all ready for winter, which is what we like to see. And this is a lovely area of the park. There are a couple of rides here. As you can see, the helicopters there. There's a little carousel behind. The helicopter's only got a couple of helicopters on. I think this area is open for winter. Generally, I think the rides are as well, which is probably the reason why some of them have come off. And a little tractor ride over here. But yeah, beautiful area. I actually can't believe what the weather's like today. It's just gorgeous. It really is gorgeous. So we're gonna have a little look around the zoo now, and we'll show you some snippets as we go around as well. We haven't been to the zoo in a few years, so really looking forward to it. Here's the more little animal encounters. Look at their own apples, look. Chickens and turkeys, we loving these apples coming down. The penguin area. Oh, lots of space to just sort of come out here, mill about. Mr. Peacock's coming as well. And over the other side here, having a little bit of a snack underneath us, is a rhea. It's oblivious to us being here. Oh, hang on. It's heard something it doesn't like. Keeper's coming in. No, it's too busy eating. Well, these are great information boards. We said this from when we took a trip to Marwell the other day, and they've got nothing like this. And that's an actual zoo. But look over there. It would be hard to come to Flamingo Land without seeing the flamingos, let's be honest. Funnily enough, I don't actually know where the name Flamingo Land come from, but I don't think it come from the actual flamingos. But they do have plenty. And they're a really good colour as well, which means they enjoy their shrimp. Over here, which is going to annoy Cody slightly, is the capybaras. Everywhere we go at the moment, the capybaras have died, which includes Marwell and Chesington. And yeah, we do like seeing the capybaras, we really do. They're just fascinating creatures, rodents. They might not be the prettiest things in the world, but they are just so placid. I can fully relate. I can fully relate to a bit of capybara. He really is something else. Mr. Kangaroo there, just sort of chilling. And you might see emus off to the right there. I mean, they enjoy a bit of sunshine, but you see when he stands up over there, I do not want to get in there with him. Here are the rather vicious baboons. See him flexing his teeth there. There's no way I'd want to get in there with those. Now, one of the more impressive walks is the tiger walk here, and we have just seen one actually. We've just gone behind the bush. And you get a nice bird's eye view of what's going on. There he is down there, look. There are a couple more around as well. It's a great view. They've got a massive space, to be fair, with this side and the other side. Of course, there's only one reason to come to the zoo, and that's the alpacas. And here they are. Sadly, can't see the hippos, although there is some construction going on. What I'm guessing is a new enclosure. Sadly, we're not really close enough to Flamingo Land for me to even hesitant to guess what they're doing, but you know, in the comments let us know. We'd certainly be interested, but yeah, sadly can't see the hippos today. Right, they're quite far away now, but I can see the hippos. So these aren't pygmy hippos, these are big hippos. Not something I get sight of very often, to be honest with you. Popular one during the summer, not on an autumn day, although I haven't seen anyone go on it yet. It is open. It is a splashdown ride, so you can expect to get rather wet. And as you can see by the floor here, in fact, I'll move over a bit because I'm not really paying any attention whatsoever, that when the boat comes down, everyone spectating also gets soaking wet. But it is a spectacular ride, and it sort of takes you around the zoo area so you can see some of the animals around here before taking you up for the final plunge. Two coasters make our next stop. So behind me we have Mumbo Jumbo. That's going to be our first stop, the Eton S coaster, which was the steepest in the world at one point. sits just there. We're going to get some shots of that and obviously take you on board as well. It's a fantastic coaster. It is genuinely one of my favourites. I love it. For a compact coaster, I just think it's amazing. It's on 2 cars today, but to be fair, there's no one in the queue at the moment, so I don't think we're going to have a problem getting on it. And then of course you have the Vekoma SLC Kumali. Now normally when you hear the words SLC you think uncomfortable, potentially. Not this one though. This custom one is also an incredible ride, featuring that amazing first drop which winds around into a loop, a wing, and inline, and then back round here to the helix. It's on 1 train today, but again, there's no queue. There's a couple of people waiting. It won't be a problem getting on there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take you on Mumbo Jumbo first, and then we're going to take you on Kumali. What a cracking ride on Mumbo Jumbo. That, I honestly have a real soft spot for this coaster. So when this opened in 2009 on July 4th, it was the steepest roller coaster in the world with a 112-degree drop. You'll see the drop shortly as the train comes around it. And it actually took the record from Fort Park and saw the ride. It didn't hold it very long in honesty. And I think the record now is more like 119, 120. But I just love this. I love the way the track moves. Goes on the outside, cuts back into the inside. This hang time on this inversion here is just insane. Absolutely insane. And then this inline which sweeps downwards to the final turn. And round the corner and back to the station. So yeah, it is a really short ride in fairness. But honestly, for a compact coaster, I think that's the best compact coaster we have in the country. For footprint wise, which really is nothing, is absolutely nothing, versus the ride experience with a couple of inversions as well. I absolutely love Mumbo Jumbo, and that's a front row ride for you there. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Right, we've then been on Kumali. We were lucky on Kumali to get a front row ride on that as well. And I'm telling you now, for an SLC, that is really, really smooth. It's got some lovely elements, and it glides. The way it glides down the first drop into the inversion, into the vertical loop. It's just incredible, it really is. When you think about rides like Infusion, I know you keep coming up, that is streets and streets ahead. And even over Odyssey, that is the smoothest, probably best SLC we have in the country without fail. That's two of the major coasters which sort of put the park on the map after getting rid of Tidal Wave that sat here, and Old Coaster which sat over the back. And we've yet to try Hero. Won't be able to film on Hero, I've got nothing to film on it on, unfortunately, but I am going to go and give Hero a go once I've had something to eat. Now it is hard to tell with Hero if people are screaming because they're excited or whether they're screaming because of potential pain. However, I am going to give Hero a bash. I say that loosely. It's one of those things you have to do once a year. It's happening. It's happening. It's just one of those things that you just can't come to the park and not go on it. I know it sounds stupid, and I appreciate it's not everyone's cup of tea. I actually vaguely remember last time I went on this, I thought it was alright, to be honest. I didn't think it was too bad. Okay, let's see what Hero's got. Quite cool seeing the car there actually, not in use. Right, I'm doing it. Oh, yeah, so I couldn't take you on ride, but if you just imagine the camera doing this for a couple of minutes, you're pretty much there in honesty. Unfortunately, it doesn't ride any better than what it used to. I don't know, it's not the roughest ride I've been on. I won't be riding it again today. It's flip-flop time. I haven't been on this in a few years. Since we originally started coming, the seats have been removed to reduce weight. Still a nice little swing ride, this one. That was flip-flop. That has lost quite a step, to be fair, over the years. I don't even think it's swinging now or sort of level. It's certainly not going at a much higher sort of 65-70 degree angle like the other ones do. That was made by Fabri. It's the only Fabri one that I'm aware of that we've got in the country. Used to have seats all around the outside, but it was showing too much pressure, which is why some of the seats were removed. And blocks of 3 is actually quite awkward, but obviously it's a quiet day here now at the park, so it doesn't matter too much. And then here is the splash battle. And it would be wet, as you can see from where all the water's going. It would be very wet, so it's not one we're doing today. However, this was the first one in the country, followed by the one that then opened at Alton Towers a couple of years later. But yeah, that's sort of the key rides in this area, along with Zoom. Zoom being more of a children's coaster. It's not something we're going on today, but yeah, you know, it's a lovely day. It is quiet. The Formula cars are open again. I'm not going on the Formula cars today. The monorail, the mover, people mover, don't need to be going on that today. But there's plenty to go on. There's plenty to go on, even if a couple of rides closed. But I think I'm heading back to SIK. Right, I think what we'll actually do, before we go on SIK, I think what we'll actually do is head over to the Skyflyer and have a go on a Skyflyer and show you sort of an aerial view of the park, a brand new one for 2022. I'm not sure actually we've taken you on board there before, so it'll be a new one for us as well. To show you what's going on, particularly obviously with this brand new view of the beautiful SIK roller coaster over here.
Seated and put your arms in place.
Huge pterodactyl ride. You gotta hand it to Flamingo Land. They have made this shot absolutely perfect for SIK. Complete with a archway here. As you can see, SIK is going around with like 4 people on. But you'll see a perfect view of it coming through these inlines. Look at that, how photogenic is that view? Insane. Right, I think we'll go and give it another ride. Now I know a lot's been said about the SIK station, but I have to say, I was one of the ones that looked at it on the videos and went, oh, that's disgusting. But actually, this is rather nice. Rather nice. So this one's got a cable lift hill rather than a chain lift hill. And I tell you now, it does fly up that lift hill. This is our 3rd go on it, as you see that come back down. Now you might see on the video, sadly, there is some mist on, which does get to the camera halfway round. But I love that. And then down the end there, it's all sort of misted up. So you can't really see the final turn as it comes flying through. Yeah, actually really like it in here.
Hold on to that handlebar at all times. Here we go.
There, the motorbike coaster, the Vekoma motorbike coaster, and that's what I like about it. They got some really unique rides. You think they got custom SLC, the El Loco, and of course the motorbike coaster as well. Not something you see anywhere else in the UK. And I love Velocity. It's not the most thrilling coaster in the world, but it's great fun, and the angle you sit at is just so different to make you feel like you're riding a motorbike. It's got a really punchy launch and a nice little layout down the bottom as well. And then of course we've gone back on SIK. I've been on that 6 or 7 times now today, and I'm not getting bored of it, to be honest with you. It is so silky smooth, it's unreal, it really is unreal. And we're trying to get a good POV. As I said, the mist is like proper in your face, water dripping off you, so it is difficult to actually get a POV without wiping the camera sort of, you know, a little bit. And where the ride is so much faster paced than Colossus because of the speed of the lift hill, it definitely feels quicker. You miss some elements in me doing that, but you know, I'll see what it looks like when we come out, and we're definitely going to include it anyway. But yeah, really great coaster, really great coaster. The landscape has changed here at Flamingo Land, and that concludes our day here at the resort. And I have to say, it's taken leaps and bounds ahead since we were last here, where there were quite a lot of sort of derelict areas, especially around the SIK area, to be fair, of old buildings and things that just didn't really fit. Now, whilst there are still a couple, i.e. behind next to Voodoo, there's an old building, and the zoo probably needs a little bit of a touch up, and some animals have left. Actually, the park is looking the best we've seen it ever. I'd go as far as ever. It's undoubtedly the best visit we've had to the park today. An off-peak day is definitely a day to come, to be honest with you. There's no doubt about that. Everything's been walk on, there's been no queues anywhere across the board, and we've been able to get on everything. And in the end, the only ride closed today was the railway, which went round because they're doing some work around the zoo, and Voodoo. That's it. Everything else did actually open. Now SIK behind us, we were a bit sceptical, to be honest, when we when we saw SIK, but it's a brilliant ride. It really is. The area, I think, is finished off, you know, fantastic. I even sent a picture to Kurt, who said it still looks a bit plain and boring, but actually I think it looks great. And the openness of it is superb. The fact you can walk around, you can get some close-up shots. You know, they know people are going to take pictures of the inline, and it's great. It's great interaction. Having that interaction means even if you're not riding, you can stand there and enjoy the experience. What does the park need going forward? Well, undoubtedly, I still think it needs that highlight thrill ride. It's got a couple of thrill rides. Star Flyer, I guess, and Flip Flop is not running like it once was. Even Navigator's quite old. A real highlight thrill ride, and maybe just a little bit of theme around would be great. I know some of it's tried to be themed in, and some looks better than others, but SIK is a massive step forward, and we really enjoyed it. So yeah, had an amazing day, to be fair, at Flamingo Land. Good value for money today, and we could carry on riding for the final hour, but quite honestly, I've done SIK 6 or 7 times. I've been thrown upside down enough for one day. But fantastic day. Have you experienced SIK yet? I know it's been open a couple of months. We certainly weren't first here by any means, but have you experienced it yet? If so, let us know in the comments what you thought about it. In terms of what Thorpe Park can do with theirs, I'm telling you now, after riding that, there's a lot that Thorpe Park can do with theirs. Thank you for joining us here from Flamingo Land. My name's Adam, this has been UK Theme Parks, and we'll see you next time.